In today's video, I'm going to do a comparison of CBDCs versus Bitcoin. So there's been a lot of talk in the news about CBDCs, which CBDC stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. So that these are issued by central governments. So I'm going to go over the what I see as the similarities, and then I'm going to go over what I see as differences. So starting out, I didn't find much in the way of similarities besides both are digital. Besides there's lots of differences between them. So let's kind of dive in and take a look at some of the things that I've found. So differences are, a CBDC, it's centralized, which is in the name. That's the first C of CBDC. It means it's centralized. So it's issued by a central issuer versus Bitcoin is decentralized. Bitcoin is decentralized across every node running the Bitcoin software across the world. There's no central governing entity, there's no central governing issuer. Everything is decentralized, and it is the most decentralized cryptocurrency that exists. Next up is supply. So CBDCs have unlimited supplies. A CBDC is linked to a currency. So if the US were to issue a CBDC, the underlying would be the US dollar, which potentially has an unlimited supply. Our government is always issuing new currency via the Federal Reserve. Bitcoin, on the other hand, has a limited supply of 21 million, which it has not reached yet. It will reach 21 million somewhere around the year 2140. Currently, we're sitting just above 19 million Bitcoin that have ever been mined. Next up is control. So a central authority controls a CBDC versus Bitcoin, which is permissionless to use. So if you're going to use a CBDC, you're going to have to be authorized by that central authority in order to use it. Versus Bitcoin, there is no permission that you need to be granted in order to use it. CBDCs are national, they're bordered because it's issued by some central entity, usually a government, such as the United States, or in the case of Britain, they could offer one for the UK, or some other country might offer their own CBDC. Versus Bitcoin, which is it's global and it's borderless. Again, there's no central authority that manages Bitcoin. It is a decentralized network. CBDCs have hidden and privileged access. So we don't really know what is authorizing anything. It's not something that we have visibility or transparency into. Versus Bitcoin's got a transparent public ledger that everyone can look at. You could have a node running on one of your computers, and you would have the entire Bitcoin blockchain that you would have at your disposal to be able to view and see what's going on in the Bitcoin blockchain. And then the last comparison here is that the CBDC custody requires personal information. So that issuer is going to require information about you in order for you to be able to utilize that network. So they may require a government issued ID. They may require some sort of fingerprint identification or your birth certificate or your social security numbers, anything they can use to validate who you are. Versus Bitcoin is self custody, meaning you could actually take custody of those funds and it's pseudo anonymous. Now, and you take custody of those funds by way of having your own wallet. So the most secure method is to have a hardware wallet where you're able to secure the keys for the Bitcoin. So the Bitcoin's on the blockchain. It's not sitting in your wallet. It's your wallet just has the keys that control access to the Bitcoin. So worries about CBDC. Some things that I've heard is that there could be an expiration applied to CBDC that's in your wallet. So you could be issued a certain amount of currency, but maybe it expires at the end of the month. And if you don't use it, you lose it. Another thing is they could potentially designate what the currency is spent on. So that it might be issued to you, and you might only be able to use it on groceries, or you might not be able to use over a certain amount on groceries. So all kinds of controls can be placed on it. Whereas, you know, the currency that's in place today, like the dollar, I mean, you basically take your dollars to anywhere you want. You can use them as you please, versus there's central authority controlling access to that. You could also have your CBDCs garnished and seized, and the timing may not be optimal for you, right? You might be waiting to use your currency for a bill or something like that, and all of a sudden it's gone out of your digital wallet, and you're unable to make those payments that you were planning on. And then there's always the unlimited supply. And that leads to inflation and dilution of your funds. For the video, I appreciate you guys watching and hearing me out. I just figured it'd be good to give people just a short little video, just going over some of the key points that I see with CBDCs versus Bitcoin, and how they're alike, and mostly how they're different. If you have any questions or concerns, please drop them below in the comments, and look forward to talking to you guys later. Bye.